Well, I was living in London, separated from the first boyfriend. I was living in East London and had begun doing things like the East London gay community with Philip Briscorla. We did the phone line with him, and it was a sort of coffee group. It was a group to get people to enter the community and to get some courage to be able to go out on their own in the gay community and in the gay scene. And I ended up wanting to do something for me. And I'd always liked singing, and I'd been a member of a band in the 1970s in Scotland. And it was a way to be social. And that was in the February, and we ended up singing in Stockholm that June. Robert Hugel was the conductor, Michael Derrick was the accompanist, and we were about 12, and we met down in the basement of the old Lesbian and Gay Centre. We rehearsed every Sunday for a couple of hours. We went off to Stockholm, which was the first time we went to a festival of song. And in Stockholm that year, it was over 2 nights. There were only the Traviatas from Cologne, Nota on Demand from Amsterdam, the Stockholm Gay Men's Chorus, and the Pink Singers. There were a couple of people from the Caramel Fou, the French choir, who were there, but they didn't perform that year. We'd arranged to sing Glad to Be Gay, and we'd had the chorus translated into Swedish. And we got on stage and we did our stuff, and we sang Glad to Be Gay, which was the last number. And afterwards, we were told that we were an earth force. It actually meant that we hadn't sung very well, and they were being very polite, and that they knew we were singing in Swedish because they couldn't understand a word of it. But it was good. We enjoyed it. We had a lovely time. The venues that we did mainly at that time were St Paul's Covent Garden, St James Piccadilly, and of course the basement of the Lesbian and Gay Centre. And we also went out to small gay groups in London with 12 voices. Some of them were really good. I could sing, but I wasn't particularly good at part singing because I'd never sung in a choir before. And we had people who could just sing and no more because it was all inclusive. So perhaps vocally we weren't of the best, but we quite enjoyed ourselves. We had a good time. The next year we went to Berlin, to the Kongresshalle. Again, there was about 12 or 13 of us, and we did a 30-minute set there. And by that time, a number of choirs had joined, and I still remember it all falling apart on stage. Our version of that one, of Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, absolutely diabolical. And then Michael Derrick's arrangements started coming out, and I enjoyed Michael Derrick's arrangements. Sometimes when we touch, his Vivian Ellis medley, I still adore. His version of Spread a Little Happiness, I still remember. I think Michael's very talented as an arranger, and I think he was a very good musical director for us for a number of years. And after the German one, Robert had agreed that we'd do the festival in London. When we came back at the start of the season for us doing the festival, there was only 6 of us in Michael's flat. And from that, we expanded. And it was at that time when we went from being a gay chorus to a lesbian and gay chorus. We wanted to reach out because the lesbian community and the gay community in lots of ways were separated. And I thought we'd perhaps try and do that in a social setup. And so we ended up with 4 or 5 really nice women who joined us that year. And we expanded with the men as well. And so by the time the festival happened, we were about 20 strong. So we were the first lesbian and gay choir in Europe.